Okay. And Mr. Freeman, what was your first name again?
David.
David. Okay. And Freeman?
Yes.
Your date of birth?
10/18/85.
And your home address? I'm not going to send you any mail, okay?
It's 219 Bell.
Okay.
It's Bell with the E at the end.
Uh-huh. Is that a house or an apartment?
House.
Okay. And your home phone? Or if just a phone I can get a hold of you if I need to for some reason.
He actually wasn't there at the encounter. He's just here as a witness for me.
No, and I understand. I'm just... There are all kinds of forms I got to fill out now because this is an official investigation, and that's one of the things that they want me to put on here because I'm not the end of this. Okay,
Right.
I'm just the investigating officer. This will be sent on up the chain
Well,
just in case somebody wants to clarify something.
Well, technically I don't have no phone number, but I have cell phone.
Okay, that's perfect.
It's 661-364-6634.
Okay. And you're not an attorney?
Well.
No. Do I need to hire one?
No, no, certainly not. No, I just like to know if I'm dealing with an attorney. That's
Okay. I thought about bringing one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just a witness. That's all.
Okay. You're witness to this.
Yes.
Yeah, not to the original incident.
Right.
Okay.
He has seen the video though.
You know, and that video, I've looked at it. Unfortunately, a lot of
The audio
what went
was
on
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, I do have a description of it though that I can give you of what happened. I didn't edit it or anything because I knew that if you needed to hear it, you guys can edit it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
And that's kind of beyond my skill because editing audio is difficult.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is an internal affairs investigation being conducted at Sheriff's headquarters. The date is November 19th, 2010. And the time is, 1746 hours. Present is the complainant, Mr. John Mendoza, and a witness for this interview, a gentleman named David Freeman. I am Sergeant Leyendecker. I'm sergeant with the Kern County Sheriff's Office, and we're here to discuss your complaint. As I understand it, after reading the complaint, you're complaining about Deputy Reed
Yes.
and his actions when he stopped you.
Yes.
I'm going to kind of give you what I understand to be, and then I'd like to open it to you and let you give me some kind of narrative as to what happened during this. And is your recording device working?
Yes, it is.
All right.
I am video and audio recording.
Okay. As I understand it, you were walking down a public street
Yes.
with a sidearm openly displayed, and you were stopped by Deputy Reed, and it appeared that there was another deputy there.
There was 3 other people there.
Okay.
I don't know who they were.
Okay. So the only name you got was Deputy Reed.
That's the only one I had a problem with.
Okay. All right. And Deputy Reed stopped you and inspected your weapon to make sure that it was empty, as I understand it?
Kind of. Basically, when they first arrived, all 4 jumped out of the car, and I was pulling out my camera. And before I could get it turned on, I had my hands on top of my head, and they took it from me, which, you know, I believe they first asked, you know, is this weapon loaded? And I don't remember exactly the first bit because it happened so fast. But I did tell him I was not consenting to any searches or seizures. That it had to be in order, and he did take that. He took my magazine, which to me is fine. He did say that he was going to run the gun to make sure it was stolen, which is a violation of the 4th Amendment. He cannot run that unless I am accused of a crime, which obviously they found out my gun is not stolen. And I did not give them my ID. I did not carry it, and I don't carry it when I open carry for that reason.
Okay. Have you been stopped before?
Actually, later that week I was stopped, and a while back, when I was at an open carry meeting, somebody had called, but they didn't even inspect the weapon.
Okay. Now, you said they took your magazine. Was the magazine inserted into the firearm?
No, I did not have a magazine in that firearm.
Okay. Where did they find the magazine?
It was on my person, plainly visible.
Okay. All right. And it was loaded, I assume?
The magazine, yeah, I only had one magazine, and it was loaded, but it was not in the gun.
And the firearm itself was not loaded. It
Right.
was not around in the chamber.
Correct.
And did the deputy or one of the deputies verify that?
Yes, they did.
All right. So the issue, you're okay with them stopping you and inspecting the firearm?
Yes, that's a 12031E check.
Okay. So the issue was the running of the
Yes.
serial number?
That and the fact that, because I had asked, I wanted to get all of their badges and names. Reed said that he would get that for me in a moment. But when I asked him for it, he said, well, I don't have any more business cards. Yet he had one in his hand that he was kind of covering up, and so he said it verbally. If I had not had my camera, I would not have gotten it. And by law, he is supposed to give that to me.
Okay. All right. How long do you think this encounter lasted?
About 10 minutes. I got 7 minutes of video, and it took about 3 minutes before I was actually able to turn the camera on.
Oh, okay. So the video starts about 3 minutes into that contact.
Right, after they had sat me down on the ground.
Okay. Now, do you believe 10 minutes was
Far too long.
far too long?
I had an encounter with BPD later that week, which they didn't check it, but it lasted about 40 seconds, which is okay with me, but technically it really should only take about 15 seconds, just to see if the firearm is loaded. If I'm accused of crime, that's different, but I wasn't, and I did ask him that, and he took 10 minutes before I could even go, and it should only take about 15 seconds to check to make sure the firearm is unloaded. And of course mine was. I double check and triple check before I go out.
Okay. Now, the encounter you discussed with BPD, did they also check the weapon to make sure it was empty?
Well, they had me turn around and see that there was no magazine in it. He seemed very uninformed about the law. The thing is, you can have a magazine in it as long as it's empty.
Yes, I would agree with that. And he didn't remove the firearm and do a pinch check to make sure that it was unloaded?
No, he did not.
Okay, that's interesting. Would you agree that that would have been lawful under 12031 subsection?
Yeah, he doesn't have to check it. There's been my other two encounters, I haven't had them check it, which is okay with me. But if they want to check it, it does need to be an order, not a request.
Okay.
Because if it's a request and I say yes, then I'm waiving my Fourth Amendment rights, which I did not do.
Okay. Okay. Was there anything about the deputy's demeanor that
Yes,
played into this?
he seemed aggressive. He did say that because that I was open carrying, that he's all for the Second Amendment and everything, but that if I continued to do that, that I would cause people to be upset and that they would enact an ordinance which would make it illegal, which they actually just rejected an attempt to repeal that law.
Okay.
So, and he should not have said that. If he's for the Second Amendment, then he shouldn't have a problem with me doing that legally. I was doing it legally. I was not harming anybody. I was not causing anybody problems.
Okay.
It is Oildale. It's a dangerous place.
Well, and is that why you're carrying the firearm?
Well, there's a couple reasons. I didn't tell him, but for one, protection. For another, it's my right. And a right that you don't exercise is a right that you have lost.
Okay. Can you tell me where this encounter started?
Yes, it was. I don't know the name of the exact street. It was, on North Chester, just before the bridge, just before Beardsley. There is a car lot, I believe. I just crossed the street and I saw out of the corner of my eye what looked to be a sheriff's vehicle.
Over there, it was just right past the McDonald's on Roberts Lane.
It's a little ways past that. It was almost to the bridge. I was on the last block before the bridge, where it's not sidewalk, but it's pavement where the sidewalk would be.
Okay. So you had not made it to Beardsley?
Right.
So it was north of Beardsley and south of Roberts Lane?
Right.
And which side of the roadway were you on?
I was on the west side.
Okay. All right. And you were walking southbound?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other comments you'd like to make?
Yes. There are a few things I would like because of this. For one, Officer Reed needs to be reprimanded for his violation of my Fourth Amendment. Second of all, I would like a formal apology from him. And I would also encourage you guys to train all of your deputies in a proper 12031 e-check, because the way it was done was not correct. It was illegal, and it upset me.
Okay. Now, what about the 12031 check did you believe was illegal?
That he ran my serial number, which he is not supposed to do unless I am accused of a crime. And that is a violation of the Fourth Amendment right, because he illegally seized my serial number for that purpose.
Okay. All right, young man. It is now 17:55 hours, and that's the end of this interview.
Okay.
All right. Could you turn yours off too? I just have some questions about the open carry movement in general, and this is not going to.
Okay, well that's okay, but I'd prefer to keep it on if that's all right.
Well, okay. I'd really rather you turn it off. I just want to talk to you, young man. I want to find out about this movement and
That's fine, but I would prefer to keep it on.
you're doing. Okay, well then.
Just for my protection and your protection.
Okay. No, that's fine. All right, gentlemen. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Although, if you do want to talk to somebody who knows all about the open carry movement, you may even know of him, Rafael Escueda. He sells firearms, and he has sold many to Bakersfield law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. Well, the name's not familiar. Where is he, or does he have a gun store? Or?
He doesn't have a store. He runs it out of his home.
Okay.
He's got an FFL.
Okay. And there are quite a few of those. No, the thing I kind of wanted to discuss with you a little bit was AB 1934.
Right.
Because it wasn't actually defeated. It just failed to be voted on before midnight.
Right.
And
So for now, it's still legal.
For now it is, but do you understand where you're going with this?
Yes, I'm continuing to exercise my rights until they get taken away.
Okay.